Welcome to Buzzwords, coming at you from the Noisy Spoon Sunroom Saloon, bourbon, beers, books, and more with Scott, Howie, and Craig. In the immortal words of Toby Keith, I love this bar. Tonight's libations are Scott, Samuel Adams Summer Ale. Howie's got
Spice of Life by
Beer Tree Brew. And I'm drinking Chattanooga whiskey. Tonight's show has a sponsor. We are sponsored by Charles Begley in memory of his wife Lois, who loved reading in libraries, and in honor of Tom Bindeman retiring after over half a century of service to our local libraries.
Not just any libraries, but a whole family of libraries.
Now, Craig, you had mentioned this earlier in the week that we had a spot. What exactly does that mean? Are you leaving money with Howie and I when you like?
I have $25 from Mr. Begley, and it's sitting in the Niagara's water cooler account right now.
Is this a Niagara water cooler? I don't think that. I feel like we're getting hosed here, Howie.
I think we all got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You remember Charles Begley, right?
I'm on the board with Craig, so I'm fully aware of who Charles is. And Charles
he also wrote for the paper. He was the poetry. Was he the poetry guy?
I don't remember that.
That part
Yeah,
I
he
don't
wrote
know.
for the Union Sun for a while.
No, Charles. I like Charles on the board. Charles is a great guy. I feel terrible for my condolences to him for the loss of his wife. And but my applause to Tom for a phenomenal career with Niagara Board. We're here to talk books, and those people have a lot to do with books.
That's right.
All right. Now, one criticism that I received from someone that we all know from the last show was that we never, towards the end, I was like, hey, we never introduced ourselves. And then I introduced myself, and you two didn't.
Well, we get off on tangents, and you never know where we're going to be.
So why don't we start with, who are we?
All right, you go first.
All right. Hi, I'm Scott. I don't read that much, but when I do, it's an audiobook. English is my third language. Sarcasm is my first. And I don't even know what my second is.
Jive.
Gibberish.
Yeah.
Gibberish and jive.
So some of our audience might know me from local writing, and I was on the radio for a while. Some of the audience might know me because I voice a bunch of YouTube channels. You'd be like, that voice sounds really familiar. That's my main gig right now. And for those of you who don't know me, you're the lucky ones. It's okay.
On that note, I'll introduce myself. I'm Howie. I do like to read when I get the chance. I set a goal of 52 books every year, and Craig completely laps the field with me about 3 times. So
I don't think he actually comprehends what he reads, though.
I don't know.
We can bring my wife in and have her discuss
He
that.
surprisingly, if I'm reading a book that I know he has read, I will ask him a question about it. I'm like, hey, what do you think of this? And he was like, I like this, this, and this. And sure enough, by the time I get to those certain points, I can legitimately discuss certain
There's a big
aspects.
thing on Threads a couple weeks ago about people who only read the dialogue of books. They only read things in between the quotation marks. And I'm like, how can you possibly?
I've never heard of such a thing.
Let's put it this way. While that sounds interesting to maybe try in theory, there are also a handful of books that have been starting to be published with no punctuation. I know,
and we're already getting into it before we introduce me.
Right, and that's one of those things that I can't stand. I picked up a book from the library a couple years ago. I'm like, oh, this book sounds interesting. I don't remember what it was called. Well, that's not true. I do know what it was called, but I'm not going to mention it here. I read about 12 pages when I got home, and I thought to myself, I can't do this.
That's where you're lucky. While you're listening to it on audio, you don't get the missing quotation marks.
Right,
It's confusing.
So backing up, I'm a former reporter and a former editor. Howie is a former reporter and current English teacher.
And former editor. I was an editor of a weekly out in Iowa before I moved out this way.
In Iowa.
I was still an editor.
Hey, they're
Still
the,
for
they're
2
the
years.
first state who gets to vote in the...
And I was a copy editor in Ohio.
All right.
So, I was an editor. I am a current English teacher. And at this point in time, I've taught every grade level except freshman. That's a lot
high
of fun.
school wise.
High school, grades 7 through 12, I've taught every grade level except freshman.
And Craig, what makes you qualified to do this show?
Nothing.
All right.
I read a lot of books.
And you have 2 government jobs.
Oh, let's not get started on
2
that.
paychecks, ha ha ha. No, we're kidding.
I do not get 2 paychecks. I barely get 1. But
But a government pension.
yes.
Anyway, continue, please. That's one of the other things we do on this show. We're going to razz each other nonstop because that's just what we
That's
do.
not just the show. That's everyday
That's
life.
our chat. I mean, that's what this is. This is just the verbalization of that.
You talked about how I lap the field. And Scott, you said you don't read a lot, but I disagree. You've read a lot of books this year so far, it seems like.
So since the last show we did, I've read 10.
Yeah.
Which is that's a lot for me. But a lot of that, and this will be peppered in the show at some point or another, a lot of that is due to Dungeon Crawler Carl, who has just destroyed my world.
So you had another friend other than Howie and I recommend that book to you. We both recommended that book to you. Neither one of us have finished it yet. You're on book 4.
I'm almost done with. I will finish book 4 tonight.
Yeah, and I haven't even picked up page 1 of book 1, but I've had multiple people say you need.
I read the first
this.
100 pages.
And I feel like all you need to do is read page 1 of book 1, and you're in.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure of it.
It's
I'm
amazing.
sure of it. But
Yeah.
the end of the school
I think
years.
there's like 10 F-bombs on the first page. And I was like, all right, that's this
And
book.
that doesn't even include the cat.
Well, the cat doesn't talk yet.
No,
Wait, I don't want to give away too much.
Don't give away.
Hey, for what it's worth, if you've read the starter villain, the cat is a phenomenal character in the starter
is.
villain. Have you listened to that one yet?
Yeah, oh yeah. A couple of years ago, you recommend. I love Scalzi. I'll read anything Scalzi.
Yeah, and when like that's what's her name? Her name is Hera. That's Persephone. That's my intern. I'm like, where is this coming from? And I was just laughing. And then the unionized dolphins who quote Monty Python. It's like, where is this guy thinking of this? Just fun stuff.
So you are a historian by trade.
That's correct.
Like that is your title. Your deputy county historian.
Deputy county historian and City of Lockport historian. Though the City of Lockport one is kind of an honorary thing because they do not pay me for it.
Right.
They keep making promises, but it's never going to happen.
Right. And you've got your presidential library.
Yes, I'm on book 112 of the series, but I'm on the 11th president, so my OCD is kicked in for sure. But in the last month, I was on Van Buren.
All right.
So I've read a bunch of books since then. So how many books have you read so far this year, Howie?
Not a lot. Not 12, a lot. It has not.
13?
It has not gone well for me since the beginning of the year for so many reasons. Like I want to listen to books on my car ride to and from work because my commute is an hour each way, and it has just kind
of malt in that.
Everything's just kind of. Sorry to interrupt you in your bourbon. No, everything's just kind of stagnated. Yeah, I know. Everything's just kind of stagnated reading wise, but I got a handful of books that I want to get through, want to finish up. And with the school year finally to a point now where I can take my foot off the gas pedal for me and not my students, I believe that my pace will quicken, but I don't know if I'm going to get to my goal at the end of the year, but I'll probably still be about where I was last year, which is going to be okay for me.
It is interesting. Your pace is going to pick up because of summer break. Mine's going to drop because of summer break. Because everyone being at home, there's always stuff going on, so you don't get that reading time. Plus, we're remodeling the kitchen, so that's taking up a lot of our time and effort. And it is hard to read when there's a lot of noise going on.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree with that.
Howie mentioned when he got here tonight that he had mowed his lawn today. Our lawn was also mowed today. And like Nate Bargatze, the guy that mows our lawn is my wife. And so she's like, I'm going to mow the lawn. What are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to sit outside, drink beer, and read. She's like, okay, then. And so that's what I did for much of today because it was just too nice to do anything else.
And the difference between your lawn and my lawn, which we might have
About 4 hours.
Acres,
yeah, it's about 4. Yeah, well, I think today might have been about 3 hours today. It took me about 3.5 hours. The first time all season I mowed the whole thing at once because it was dry enough to do that.
We also planted our vegetables today.
There's one spot in my lawn that I can't mow yet because my son, who is the
Horticulturist?
self-appointed green thumb in the family, exactly. Last summer, he decided he was going to get some trees and try to plant them in this one little spot or like a shrubbery or something. So
Shrubbery?
Yeah. Anyway, he dug a small trench. He dug a small trench, and I would say it's probably about the length of this bar, all right? He dug it, and he kind of like made a berm out of it, and he didn't plant anything. But he's got like buckets with like 6 or 7 buckets around it that like look where there should be trees, but he still hasn't planted them.
Right.
So I called him up the other day because he spends all of his time at my in-laws just down the block, less than half a mile away. And I said, if you don't get this done by, I don't know, I'm going to have to come up with an actual date. I'm going to flatten it out and just mow over it because right now it's just tall grass.
Did you mow over it?
Not yet. I haven't given him the firm date yet. But as long as it's still like that by the time he goes back to school at the end of August, that might be the time I give him. I'm like, if it's not done before you go back to school,
if it's not done in 3 months,
you have no idea that this is the kind of like slack that my son has been given with different things in the house and over the course of time. So I'm like, he's gonna be 20 in August, so it's not like I'm giving like a teenager chores. I'm like, this is something you wanted to do. If it is not done before you go back to school for your junior year, I'm mowing over it. It's as simple as that. And if he complains about it, I'm going to tell him, well, you had your chance. You had 4 months because he came home at the beginning of May.
So last year we tried tomatoes and cucumbers. It didn't go well. I'm home more this year.
All the cucumbers were stolen, but the neighbor's wife was happy.
Yeah, something like that.
Cucumbers are rather.
And so
never mind. I'm not going to
Jeanette
finish
had
the
like a
quote.
cherry tomato plant. Hers did wonderfully. Actually, they did well. We just didn't pick them, and then they all died.
So away from gardens here for a moment.
Why? This
Because-
is the garden talk show.
It's garden variety conversation.
There you go. Do you keep a log of the books you read or listen to?
I don't, but I am diligent about doing reviews for the books that I've read.
Right.
So that's kind of my log. And then like I have Goodreads. So like I'll mark books as read on Goodreads.
That's how I kind of keep track of what I've read and what I haven't.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to open my Goodreads, but I'm going to tell you, I have been keeping a handwritten log of all the books that I've read since January 1st, 1995. There was a guy who passed away in like October or November, and his family found this log of books that he kept. He kept his own list of the books he had read, and over 45 years or 50 years, he had read like 2,200 books. I go, oh, that's a nice start.
Yeah, that's a nice start because he's about to brag now, right?
Since 1995, January 1st, 1995, I'm about 4,200.
Sounds about right.
So I started using Goodreads on January 1st, 2021.
All right.
I have since read 837 books.
Slacker.
Yeah.
It's like 200 books a year.
Only.
not
even-
Go figure.
So since the last time we were here,
You read 10 books ish.
something like that,
I think I probably bought that many since the last time I was here, but I haven't read them.
There are random piles. I actually said that at the Nioga dinner during my talk, that there are random piles of books all over my house. Howie's been to my house recently and knows that is true.
Some of them are mine.
Yes.
Just saying.
so. I read a book that I thought was a book that ended up not being a book. You ever have? Well, probably don't. So one of the dangers with reading books on Audible is occasionally you get things that aren't actually books. The title really enthused me. A grown-up guide to dinosaurs. I'm like, fuck yeah.
And you're wearing a dinosaur shirt today.
I like dinosaurs.
Who doesn't like dinosaurs?
But Howie, I know you do Audible on occasion. You ever reading a book and then there's like sound effects and you're like, what the hell is going on?
I saw a book. As we continue through this podcast, it's going to become very well obvious that I'm a huge Mel Brooks fan.
Right.
And at one point I was looking on Audible. I'm like, I want something quick and easy that I can read while I'm going back and forth to work just to get my numbers up. Because I'm like, I want my numbers on Goodreads to look okay.
It's always get the easy ones to get your numbers up. That was high school and college for me.
So James Patterson.
yeah,
No, nobody named James.
Well, this, for what it's worth, I found an Audible title that was about 2 hours long. I'm like, this is awesome, cool. I can read this in 3 days, going back and forth to work. And it was The Making of Young Frankenstein.
Cool.
Frankenstein.
It's Igor, not Igor. Yeah. What hump? Yeah.
Wasn't that on the other side?
Yeah. Frau Blucher. Yeah. Don't get me started on Young Frank. This is a very Abby normal podcast. As I was reading this book, I recognized that it was essentially one of those like coffee table books that somebody recorded. And it was like, I was listening to the captions on the pictures. I was listening to various different pages describing photos. Like, it worked because I knew what they were talking about because I've seen Young Frankenstein so many times.
Terry Garr.
Well,
What knockers?
so
Thank you, Doctor. Yeah.
so the grown-up guide for dinosaurs. I'm like, this is weird. It's got like it's got sound effects. There were actually interviews in the like rather than like saying like so and so said, they'd be like, this is so and so, and then they like would interview them. I'm like, this is odd, but whatever. I'm enjoying it. I'm learning things. I like dinosaurs. At the very end, it's like, thanks for listening to our podcast. And I'm like, what the So I thought it was a book. It was not a book. But I did enjoy it. I've also read 3 9/10 of the first 4 Dungeon Crawler Carl books. And I read, so we're going to talk about classics today. And I was thinking to myself, are there modern classics? And one of the books that I read since the last time we were together, I think might be a modern classic. I read Handmaid's Tale for the first time.
I want to read that one, but I might actually have to break down and read that through an audio book because I can't stand the fact that she doesn't use quotation marks. And in the paragraph, it changes speakers in the same paragraph without quotation marks. So it gets really confusing.
Right.
And it's kind of cumbersome.
So Claire Danes narrated this.
Oh, okay. That's all I need.
Yeah.
It was amazing. She was amazing. If you told me this was her favorite book and she had read it 100 times before actually narrating it, I would 100% believe you. because she was just on. I didn't know what to expect. I don't always love celebrities narrating books.
Will Wheaton.
I do like Will Wheaton.
I think that's an exception.
Will Wheaton is
though.
very good at it. But here's one. Shoot, I can't think of the guy's name. It'll come to me. There's a guy who's narrated a bunch of books, and I don't always care for them. Anyway, Claire Danes narrates this. Yeah, definitely read the Audible version with Claire Danes because she was amazing. I had seen the Hulu series, which I know is loosely based on. Mm-hmm. I was like, I should read the book, and so I read it, and it was very compelling. Like I would highly recommend it to so many people.
And that was written in the 80s, I think.
I think it came out in like 85.
Would you consider Man in the High Castle to be modern or post-classical?
I would say post-classic.
All right.
What Man in the High Castle was like 60s?
60s, yeah.
Yeah. That's a PK Dick, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I love Dick.
I heard that.
Oh my goodness.
So Man in the High Castle was another one. PK Dick is one of those guys that's like, so much of your book is so good. And then like, what was that? Like, what are you doing here? I've read probably 9 or 10 different PK Dick books / short stories that, became more. And I read Man in the High Castle and I mostly loved it. I feel like Stephen King does not know how to end a book.
No, he just keeps kind of peters out.
And I feel like that's what happened.
After 1,500
I feel
pages.
like that's what happened in Man in the High Castle.
The exception might be The Stand. I love The Stand. Great book.
So-
There's a definite end to that one.
Right. But I don't like the ending. So I guess part of our conversation today is what is a classic?
Right. I was just going to say, so by our own definitions, and I'm sure we all have our own, what is the era for a classic? What's the era for a post-classic? And when does modern classic start?
Oh, God. You're asking me to define years. I'm not going to do that. As someone who is currently in education, though, I can tell you, like, there's the canon, which, everybody kind of looks at. It's like Twain, Dickens, Catcher in the Rye, Nathaniel Hawthorne and the Scarlet Letter, The Crucible, Arthur Miller. What else might be in the canon right now that a lot of people would point to? Fahrenheit 451 and some Bradbury stuff.
Well, I have a
1984.
list here, too, but I'm just trying to figure out.
Didn't you post a list to your Facebook a couple days ago?
Did I?
I thought you did.
I'm just trying to figure out.
might
I
have
would
posted
say
something.
post-World War II, you're coming into post-classic
Right.
period.
I think
And
that's-
then
I
anything
think
after I was born is modern.
Modern.
Classic. Yeah,
I would say
anything mid 70s on is
right.
modern.
That's
classic.
what I would say.
Yeah, I could agree with that. And there's also some contemporary classics, modern classics would be like from the time we went to high school on, and then from our time in high school, and then I say contemporary is probably 2000 on. Where
are the Harry Potters and the Hunger Games going to fit in the future?
Future, they're definitely. See, that's a tough one.
I mean, the Hunger Games is taught by
Because
a
they're
lot
both kind of like
teachers.
fantasy sci-fi. Like they don't fit into what our classics fit into, but they've gotten so many
Game
kids
of
into reading.
Thrones.
Game of Thrones, I'm not sure you'd be reading in high school.
No, but
it's considered a modern classic because of how many people just swear by it. I mean, but you got
Or at it.
or at it exactly. I mean,
I use it to keep the door open.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. One of the classics, I guess you could say, and it was recent, over the last couple of years was voted as the best American book of all time, was something like To Kill a Mockingbird, which, to be perfectly honest, it's kind of like ironic to say, I didn't read that book for the first time until last New Year's Day.
See, and that is a book that I read in high school, and I enjoyed it in high school.
I was in English classes. None of my classes read it.
Yeah.
There were a couple other ones that did. Mine did not.
Did you read it in high school, Craig?
No.
Kill a Mockingbird?
Nope.
Have you ever read it?
Yes.
Okay. So
Have you seen the Gregory Peck?
Yes. And we went to see. I saw John Boy playing it at Shays.
Yeah.
yeah, I missed that. I think my wife took my son, but when I feel
There's a second book to that, but it's more like a. Have you read the second book?
I bet we get flashed again.
Nice.
anyway, back on track.
There's a second book to
To
that.
revive a Mockingbird?
To Kill a Mockingbird. So it was put out by the estate.
Okay.
And what I think
From
it is.
notes?
What I think it is
Like the
simply.
new Beatles songs?
Right. I think it was just notes for the original book, and she changed so much from her first draft to the final draft that what we're reading is an early draft.
All right.
The foundation is there, and it's filled out a little bit differently.
All right.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to feel pretty confident saying this based on the amount of stuff I've seen other teacher groups post either on various forms of social media. And that is when I taught To Kill a Mockingbird to 8th graders last school year. So we're talking 24, 25. There were maybe a quarter of my students who legitimately got it. The other 75% were so hung up on the language in the book and, the way the world is in 2025 and the way there's so much arrested development due to I'm not saying
I love that show.
God, yeah.
I'm using it though as
Rossi.
a defining word though for a lot of students who are in schools right now, because COVID set several classes back maturity wise. People can make up the educational gap. That is not an issue for a lot of students, but that whole maturing aspect of things.
It set the entire country back maturity wise.
I think so, because so many people wound up staying home, and a lot of things happen. That's a separate podcast for other people to tackle.
So back to your language thing, though. I think that's worth pointing out, because I do remember one of my problems with the classics was getting over the language barrier.
It's huge.
When I was younger, Shakespeare was the worst.
I'm not a Shakespeare fan.
I love Shakespeare. Once the Shakespearean language clicked, I can read it and not even realize it's not modern English. Like my brain just translates on the go.
We can all agree it's beautiful language.
Oh yeah.
But I think content-wise, Ben Jonson, who was his contemporary, is better.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Ben Johnson's going to say, I don't know what did he write? I should know this. Now I feel bad.
I'll look it up to make sure I don't screw it up, because it's been a while.
And while he's doing that, while we're talking about Shakespeare, and I know we'd like to sprinkle movies in here.
I think the late 90s, early 2000s with Shakespearean teen comedies and movies was the sweet spot.
10 Things I Hate About You is great, but no, my favorite Shakespeare, I can't even call it an adaptation. It's just Romeo and Juliet with Leo and Claire Danes.
Claire Danes, yeah.
The thing that I loved about that was it used the Shakespearean language. Most of the adaptations kept the medieval castles and all that crap, but changed the language to modern English. This did the opposite. It kept the language, but set it in modern day Los Angeles, basically. And I thought that it made it so much more easy to
access for people. Yeah. I can agree with that.
Plus,
too.
the soundtrack was a banger.
The first Baz Luhrmann movie I watched was not that one.
Okay.
And so far, I still have not seen that one.
Oh, really?
I still have not seen the Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet. I did see Baz Luhrmann's interpretation of Elvis.
I have not seen that one.
And I'm going to say this, if the Romeo and Juliet movie is as over the top as the Elvis movie I watched, then I'm probably not going to like Romeo and Juliet.
All right. Did you like Moulin Rouge?
Loved it.
Bits and pieces of it.
Did you like Gatsby?
I haven't seen that yet either. There's something about certain directors, just kind of their whole aesthetic just doesn't appeal to me.
That's fair, and he's definitely got his thing. He's got his way of doing. He incorporates music into his movies.
Yeah, and that's fine.
More so than I think any other contemporary director that I can think of.
There are times when I'll go into a movie thinking, okay, I'm going to watch this with a certain kind of eye. Like I want to get this out of it. Or I want to get that out of it.
Right.
If I am watching Blade Runner, which I think we talked about last time, which was based on Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. I read that book. It was okay. And then I went to watch the movie and I fell asleep. Then I had to watch the movie for a class on history of the cinema. And I had to watch the movie in 3 different segments because I fell asleep each time. Getting to Rutger Hauer's monologue at the end, it's an outstanding monologue. It's phenomenal.
The movie is slow and dry.
Oh my goodness, I couldn't get through it.
So I had to read that book in college as part of one of my political science classes, because there is a lot of politics in that book if you really get into it. So that's what really gave me a new interpretation of that.
So here's the Ben Jonson one, and this is the one I couldn't quite remember the name
Isn't
of.
he like a discus thrower?
No, he's the coach of the Detroit Lions. Every Man in His Humor, which was 1598, The Alchemist, and Bartholomew Fair. He's considered one of the most important English dramatists, along with William Shakespeare, during the reign of James I.
All right. He was so important that Howie and I don't know who he is, and you had to look him up.
I had to look up the name of the one. I knew The Alchemist.
That really says a lot. Well, history is written by the victor, so Shakespeare must have beat him in a wrestling match.
Well, a lot of people think that Shakespeare
was more than one guy, right?
Yeah.
Francis Bacon, they think he was one of the writers for Shakespeare.
What a horrible name.
Exactly, because he's not a true Bacon. He was hiding who he really was.
He was, which is weird since his name was Frank. You would think that a guy named Frank would be honest.
You would think.
Right.
That would make sense. So the other thing about Shakespeare, by the way, if you look up at all the paintings and different interpretations of what Shakespeare looked like, there's like a 12 to 15 versions of what people thought he looked like.
Yeah, the only thing that's in common is he had that stupid shirt.
And some sort of beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the depictions of Jesus.
Yeah. I look more like Jesus than you guys do.
Right.
Just saying.
Yes.
So
That's fair enough.
yeah.
You're probably closer related too.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is not a religious podcast. We are making off-the-cuff remarks. Moving on.
We wanted to talk about classics. So I found 2 websites, and the first website was complete and utter garbage. And I'm surprised because it was from Penguin Random House.
Really?
Okay. I got to write myself a note. There's something I want to talk about at some point today.
All right. So Penguin Random House did a top 100 of a modern library. These classics that you're supposed to have in your
home.
in your home.
Okay.
So first I want to tell you that on this there's no Mark Twain, there's no Charles Dickens, there's no Shakespeare. I just want to point that out. I'm not a Shakespeare fan,
And
but
this
still
is 25 books?
this is 100.
100 books from Penguin
100
Random House.
from Penguin Random House.
And they don't have anything from Shakespeare, Twain, or Dickens.
Correct. I'll list some of them on here, and
I'm curious what they have in place.
they have number 1, Ulysses by James Joyce.
All right. It's a good book.
It is it's a good book. I've read that one. And number 2 is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald.
I don't know about that being number 2.
No,
But okay.
I believe it belongs on this list, but maybe somewhere in the 70s.
There's a lot of books that legitimately, I understand why they are on lists. They're just not my favorites.
Yeah. I actually I hate every character, but I like the
You
Great
don't like
Gatsby.
Zelda?
I don't like any of them. Like
She had a great legend.
I wanted them all to get run over.
Did you see was it a Netflix show or an Amazon Prime show starring Christina Ricci as Zelda Fitzgerald?
No.
You should check it out. It's pretty good. I think it only lasted 1 season, 10 episodes.
Number 4 on this list, I'm surprised still makes the list. I'm surprised that they have not canceled it yet. Lolita
Okay.
by Nabokov.
Yeah.
Because he's he's going after a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, that's yeah. So you know the song "Don't Stand So Close to Me."
I do.
Yes.
And he talks about that.
Like that book by Nabokov.
Right. So if you ever listen to any of the Police's lyrics, they're all that creepy. Like I think they actually idolize him because like Police lyrics are creepy.
For what it's worth, the Police were pretty well read because they also quote the Odyssey.
He was a
They're-
professor.
Yeah.
He
He was an English professor.
which is awesome. You're talking about Nabokov.
Which is why "Don't Stand So Close to Me" is like is this a real story? Like
Right. Number 5 is Brave New World. That belongs on the
Aldous
list.
Huxley.
Okay, but again,
Catch-22 is number 7.
Catch-22 is really interesting. So I read Catch-22, I think, in high school. My mother actually had a phenomenal collection of books, Catch-22 being one of them. Do you know the phrase Catch-22?
yeah,
Do you know where it comes from?
not that book.
It comes from the book.
Oh, it does come from the book. Okay, figured as much.
So the book isn't based on the phrase. The book made the phrase.
Which tells you that the book deserves some sort of respect.
Yes.
Okay.
The Grapes of Wrath is number 10.
No.
I
don't
like
Steinbeck.
that book.
I
Too dry.
gotta be with Scott here. I'm not a big
The
fan
Way of
Steinbeck.
All Flesh, number 12.
I don't even know that.
Me neither.
Wow.
Who wrote it?
Where the heck is it? Samuel Butler.
Okay.
1984 is 13 on the list.
And I think that belongs higher. 1984 is just
Here's a book that I've read and I like, but it's far too high on the list. It's number 14. I, Claudius by Robert Graves is number 14.
okay.
It's awfully high.
Yeah, I agree.
They have Slaughterhouse 5 is 18. I love Kurt Vonnegut.
I like
though.
Vonnegut. Yeah. Yeah.
Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison is 19.
Okay.
Wait.
Not
Isn't
the
the
one-
Invisible Man?
There's two different
There's
versions
two
of
different-
Invisible.
yeah.
There's the Invisible Man by H.G. Wells, and then there's Invisible Man by Ellison, which isn't that a?
It's about a black man.
I was going to say because that was one of the books I read in one of
Oh,
my.
so this isn't all right.
I had to read about.
I was really confused there a second because I was like, I know I've read that, and I feel like it was not all right.
There were a dozen books I read in one of my graduate courses that was it was American literature with a focus on black horror,
Okay.
and Ellison's Invisible Man was on that. along
There
with
are 5 Faulkner books in the top 38.
No.
got to be kidding me.
5 Faulkner books.
Yeah.
And no Shakespeare.
No, none. There's not even there's not an Ernest Hemingway until you get into the 40s.
Huh.
And aside from his
I'm not
polydactyl
a
cats,
Hemingway fan.
I'm not a Hemingway fan.
Yeah.
See, I'll say it again. There are a lot of books that I may not personally like, but I respect their place in literary history. The fact that some of those books are not on this list really shocks me.
Go Tell It on the Mountain by Baldwin is on here. Deliverance by James Dickey.
Honestly, I didn't even I knew that was a book.
The Sun Also Rises. This is the first Hemingway book, and it's number 45.
All right. Is Art of War on this book?
No. Not on this list at all.
You said Sun, and my brain went Sun
Right.
Tzu. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So
Is the Prince on the list?
no.
Machiavelli. Wow. All these books.
Because that's the same book. Art of War and the Prince is the same book.
Yeah.
Tropic of Cancer by Henry Miller is number 50. And there's some honorable mentions between 51 and 100. On the Road by Kerouac.
I like Kerouac.
Yep, it's on there. A Clockwork Orange, From Here to Eternity, The Maltese Falcon. Call of the Wild was number 99 on this list.
Is it Jack? What's his
Jack
name?
London.
Jack London. Yeah, I feel like I might have read that in high school, maybe early. I know I read it. I didn't like it.
Since we have to sprinkle in pop culture in this because it's me, can we just mention the fact that the Times Arrow 2-part episode in Star Trek The Next Generation where the bellboy was Jack London and Data encouraged him to go to the Klondike? I think that was one of the coolest little, hey, don't forget the name's London, Jack London. It was one of the just little coolest throwaway lines.
So I found a real list.
Good, because that one.
That list is terrible.
I don't
there
like
were
that.
some great books on there.
There are, but there's
some
also a lot of
horrible
great
omissions, and yeah.
So this was put together by 100 librarians from around the United States.
So in other words, people who know what they're talking about.
Right.
Publishers have an idea, librarians know.
So number 1 is Don Quixote.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Number 2 is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
Hugely okay with that because what did we do to figure out this list? We went down the rabbit hole. So if we're going to quote that, be my guest.
Number 3 was Written in Buffalo, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Okay.
Can't go wrong with my favorite at this point. Yes.
Number 4 is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. We'll do these in groups of 5.
Ooh, I
don't know if Tom Sawyer deserves to be that high, but I think it deserves to be on the list.
I 100% agree that it deserves to be on the list, but yeah, definitely not Twain 3 and 4. That doesn't.
No, I think
Huckleberry Finn is definitely in the top 5.
Yes, I agree with Huck Finn, but I think
Well, I would be okay with either one of them being in the top 10.
I do think that
Both of them, that seems questionable to me.
I agree with Scott, and I think Huck Finn gets the nod only because of the fact that it is more talked about and has it has the
Is it really more talked about?
because
Did Rush do a song about Huck Finn?
No.
no, Rush did not do a song about Huck Finn, but did Percival Everett write a retelling of Huck Finn over the last 2 years that was arguably more
I haven't finished it. I need to. I really, really, really need to finish it.
Yeah,
because that's one of the things we can talk. So let's get to number 5, and then we can talk about these 5.
Yeah, James was the one I was talking about, by the way. Percival Everett's James was awesome.
Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson.
Oh, give me some Robert Louis Stevenson. Yeah, okay with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm fine with this list completely.
That's a top 5 that you might have your own top 5, but you can't argue with that top 5.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm okay with arguments like that. Thank you very much. By the way, we're updating my brew of choice.
Is that 42 North?
This is 42 North.
I had dinner there last night
Just going with
Scott's wife.
and your wife. We should throw that in there.
Yeah,
All right?
I told them they were both my wives when we went in there. Same thing when we went into Shays and said the same thing.
Of course, that's because that's you or you. This is a 42 North Craftsman Lager, just a basic lager.
Well, we're updating. I'm also updating. I'm not quite done with my summer ale, but I will be here in a second. And once it is done, I'm going to drink a Sam Adams Blueberry Lager.
Ooh.
That I did not know existed until recently.
Hey, it's red, white, and blue for or I'm sorry, red, white, and blue berry.
Yeah.
For America's 250.
Well, this was like part of like an American celebration pack.
That's cool.
I've seen those before.
All right, number 6 on here. There is a series of books that have been written lately that is a zombified version of these books, and they are
Pride and Prejudice.
Yes, they are. The zombie books are phenomenal. I'm not a huge zombie fan.
So one, I don't like any of the Austins.
Right.
We could get rid of all Austen literature, but Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies was amazing.
It was.
I haven't read any of that, but again, I understand the fact that it's beloved and deserves a place on a list.
So kind of in a tangent here, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Loved it.
Loved that book.
Yeah. I actually even liked the movie, which
I haven't watched
tanked.
the movie.
It wasn't as good as the book.
I own it, but I haven't watched it yet.
So maybe 15 years ago or so, I had, and actually, so if you go to my website, scottleffler.com, and click on book reviews, you can just click through like book reviews throughout the ages. About 15 years ago, I had a stretch where all I did was read zombie books. World War Z, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, and I found I had Kindle Unlimited at the time. Mm-hmm. And authors were just cranking out zombie books.
Right.
And
that's because of The Walking Dead.
And I just, read it, and a lot of them were crap, but it was basically free to read.
The Walking
So-
Dead was a good show for about 2, maybe 3 seasons.
I never
then-
watched
I think
it.
you give it too much. Maybe a season.
I
It
am
just-
not,
it-
by any stretch of the imagination, a zombie fan at all.
Neither am I.
But my favorite, there
Warm
are two
Bodies.
of them. Warm Bodies, all day.
That's another
Warm
Shakespeare.
Bodies.
It's another Shakespeare. It's Romeo and Juliet.
And then the other one is, what the Zombieland.
Yes, zombie. Yes.
And if you're
Bill Murray.
if you're a father of tweens and teens, Zombies, made for TV Disney Channel movies.
Yep.
So go on with this list because this is a good list so far.
Number 7 is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte.
Okay, I still have to see the movie with Margot Robbie, but that's a different story altogether.
I will watch any movie with Margot Robbie.
Wow. I'm kinda
You have
surprised.
not, or you have?
I said I would.
Okay,
I thought you said you haven't or
I
whatever.
just want to make sure we heard
I
him
said
right.
I
Okay.
would watch any movie with Margot Robbie.
For what it's worth, I'm just going to throw this out there. Barbie was amazing.
Oh, I thought so too.
I haven't watched it
The
yet.
amount of people who have
I
missed
did,
the point.
I did the
but
whole
I haven't-
Barbenheimer thing.
Yeah, the amount of people. who,
Oppenheimer was such off the do we go to that together? You and I did.
No,
Didn't we?
no, we did not go to. What did we go to? I don't know. I think the last movie you and I went to might have been Ready Player One.
So on opening day, I went to Oppenheimer. Then Jeanette and I went out to dinner. Then we went to the Barbie movie. And I'm really glad I saw it in that order because, dude, Oppenheimer messes with your head.
Oh, you know what I did? Everyone was gone. The kid, Wendy and the girls went away for some Girl Scout thing. So it was me by myself. So I went up to watch Oppenheimer and I went to the IMAX. And the part where they explode the bomb for the first time and it's dead silent. Holy shit.
So I've told so many people, like, especially after me, like, whoever did the sound in that movie
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
deserves all the praise. Because their use, and not just there, but like the director, whose name is fleeting at the moment,
Christopher Nolan.
Nolan. Nolan's use of sound and silence in all of his movies is just incredible.
And sometimes the way he uses sound to count it down or like just bringing it to a crescendo at certain points is really, really amazing.
Well, and so many of his soundtracks are so good.
Oh yeah, the Inception soundtrack is outstanding. That's one of the few instrumental score
The
soundtracks
Dark
I
Knight
bought.
Rises soundtrack.
Yeah, it was excellent. But you're talking Oppenheimer. I'm just going to throw this out for Barbie though. So many people missed the point of that movie.
Oh, yeah.
I think we actually talked about it last time we spoke. The movie itself preaches balance. It doesn't say all one or all the
Right.
other. It says you need balance, and if you
Right.
don't have balance,
Does she bring balance to the force?
She bring, yeah.
yes,
She
yeah,
balances my force.
We'll agree on that. Yes,
Okay, number 8, Jane Eyre.
No?
no, I'm good. Jane Eyre.
Number 8, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't hate Jane Eyre.
Me neither.
I didn't love it, but
I've read almost all these books so far. Number 9 is Moby Dick. I love the book. So when I was a kid, my parents
call me Ishmael.
got me a series of 12 books, and they were abridged books
In like
in a box type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, those
yeah.
are. Yeah, every kid should. Not every kid. Every set of parents should get this for their kids so they can read.
Yeah, because it I'm not going to say it dumbs it down, but it takes some of that archaic language out so that an average kid can read it and learn to love it.
And it tells
then
the story, and you
Right.
want to read more.
And then when you get older and can understand more, then you can pick up, the unabridged version.
All right, so let's just say that the three of us are not average. We're not normal. We definitely do not represent society as a whole. Do parents have libraries? I mean, like, not a room that's a library, but like
I did.
Growing up, my mom had shelves with all sorts of books and like encouraged me, like, read whatever you want. We had books galore and encouraged the kids to read whatever they want. Is that a thing that still happens?
So I got a great story about
It depends.
about a personal library. The people who lived across the street from me, Marcia Stuckey, she just recently passed away. She had a complete collection at that time of the Hardy Boys,
Okay.
Nancy Drew, and the Bobbsey Twins.
Which
All right.
is like phenomenal gateway literature
Oh, yeah.
for anybody from the age of 8 to
She
14.
would let
Agreed.
me borrow a book at a time. I'd read it and bring it back. Like 2 days later, she'd go, "You're already done? Yeah, I want the next one."
Mm-hmm.
That's where I started reading books before I could get to the library
And another
regularly
thing,
on my own.
I remember when I was maybe 13, my mom had got me like a book of the month type thing. And it was that, it wasn't Hardy Boys, but it was in that, not necessarily, a mystery, but like that type of young adult.
that ilk,
Yeah.
the stuff that makes you want to
I
read
remember
more.
one called The Counterfeiter. And I don't know who the author was, but it was about this kid who drew a $100 bill to take this girl on a date.
$50 bill. I'm sorry. I had to go through
I
this.
I don't remember a ton about it, but I mean, it's 40 years later and I remember it.
That sounds like a book I'd want to read now.
Yeah.
I mean, why the heck not?
Sorry, Craig wants to continue with his list.
It's a good list so far.
It is a good list.
Number 10, The Scarlet Letter.
No.
Yep. No?
No.
Really?
I think the plot and premise of the story is fine, but it needs to be updated. It is.
Well, it has been updated.
Give me I don't want to read The Scarlet Letter. Give me a modern version of The Scarlet Letter, and I can work with it.
All right.
I don't know. I like
the
the
Miller.
original. Yeah,
Miller. That's Hawthorne.
Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
The Crucible is Miller.
Yeah.
Making The Scarlet Letter a play.
Right.
So number 11 is Gulliver's Travels.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 12, I've read and I didn't like.
I don't think of Gulliver's Travels as literature, frankly.
I think that's one of those where we're talking like Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew being like gateway literature
Yeah.
for like young adults
Yeah,
and
but
teens.
it's
But
satire, man.
Gulliver's Travels could be something like for the younger
Yeah.
crew.
Right. The Pilgrim's Progress.
I'm unfamiliar with it.
It's, John Bunyan. I read it.
It's one of the some of these books you're going to see and be like, okay, they deserve to be there, but we don't like it. Again, these are all like subjectivity, you know.
13, 14, and 15 are all by the same author.
Yeah, I don't feel like that should happen, but
A Christmas Carol.
okay.
Okay. It's one of my
David
favorites.
Copperfield.
Okay.
Okay, and then Great Expectations.
A Tale of Two Cities.
Okay,
All three belong on the list.
I don't know if they belong in a row.
Right. That's just weird.
I would put A Christmas Carol up there. I would probably put it above the other ones.
And it is.
Personally, good.
And then number 16 is Little Women.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alcott.
Number 17, we're back to Dickens, and that is Great Expectations.
Okay, that's one of my favorites, but that's because I had a phenomenal.
I'm a
teacher.
Tale of Two Cities fan myself.
I had a phenomenal freshman year of high school English teacher who made me just love Great Expectations.
So in that same set of abridged books, Oliver Twist was in that.
All right.
And I loved Oliver Twist because of that. And then I read the Dickens unabridged thing, and I'm like,
A note to our listeners, one of the many things that I do is I voice audiobooks, specifically classic audiobooks for a YouTube channel. And last Christmas, I did A Christmas Carol. So if you want to listen to me read you A Christmas Carol, go to scottleffler.com.
There's also somebody locally who does a one-man show with A Christmas Carol. He's going to be in Lockport this December. Randall's doing his...
is he?
Yeah. I saw it last year. It was really kind of cool.
Mike Randall is one of genuinely the nicest guys.
100%. I drank some beers with him one night, and because his son was playing, he's in a band.
Right.
And he opened up for, I can't remember what band it was who opened when they had the concerts downtown Lockport.
Okay.
I walked up to Mike, and we have chatted occasionally about things. And so he remembered me, and we were talking, and he goes, "Can I buy you a beer?" I'm like, "All right."
Most Buffalo media is decent.
Yes.
There are a couple who are horrible, and there are a couple who are amazing. Mike Randall's in the amazing crowd.
Yep. So the next one, number 18 on this list, is a book that I have tried multiple times to read, and I can't get into it, and I feel bad for not being able to read it, but The Hobbit.
Yeah, I can't. Nope.
Believe it or not, I've only gotten about halfway through in that one.
Yeah, no hobbits, no rings, no.
I love the movies.
I don't.
If you have 35 hours to do nothing,
those movies are a cure for my will to live. I can only imagine,
Well, time out. I'm a little. I'm legitimately. I'm asking this because I don't know. So, Craig, based on what you just said, you've seen all of the Lord of the Rings movies, Hobbits, and everything, all of them.
unfortunately.
Wow, and you've seen none of them.
I have started watching them and got twitchy, found a razor blade, and
Turned it off. Okay.
yeah.
Because you're still here. See, I'm on the other side. I've read The Fellowship of the Ring. I've read The Two Towers. I've read most of The Return of the King. I think the extended versions of the Lord of the Rings movies are outstanding.
Really?
They're outstanding in their field.
I think the Hobbit movies were cash grabs, and there was no reason for that to be a trilogy.
You missed it again.
Whatever, it's fine. So you said The Hobbit was up there, and it deserves to be because it is a classic, one way or the other.
Number 19 is Frankenstein.
Frankenstein should be higher. Is that the first female author? No.
We've had
Yeah,
Austin,
all
we've
right.
had Alcott, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 20 is one of my favorites in the that abridged thing. That's Oliver Twist.
All right.
I loved Oliver Twist.
Sure.
Uncle Tom's Cabin is 21.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So far, I don't have a problem with any of the books on the list. I can argue with their placements.
Agreed.
but So
100%.
far,
Yep.
so far, the books on the list is fine.
Crime and Punishment.
You got to have some Russian lit in there. So Dostoevsky, why the heck not?
Yeah, and Crime and Punishment is much more
accessible than Tolstoy.
Well, it is Tolstoy.
No, it's Dostoevsky.
No.
Yeah.
Crime and Punishment is Dostoevsky.
All right.
Yep.
So yes. So I'm what I was going to say was Crime and Punishment is much more readable than War and Peace. But for some reason or other, I had them in my brain were both Tolstoy.
No problem.
Anna Karenina.
That's Tolstoy.
Madame Bovary is 23. I have never
That's
read
one
it.
I've never read. Yeah.
I've never read it.
I have not either.
The title just doesn't entice me.
Number 24, Tolkien, Return of the King.
Easily the best movie of the trilogy, but like I said, I haven't finished the book, but what I had read of the book was really good so far.
Number 25 is one of my favorites in the top 25. It's in my top 5, just my personal favorite. I'm not sure I would put it as a must read for everyone, but Dracula.
All right. Yeah.
We got to have some horror books in there. So yeah, absolutely.
Dracula it's a trendsetter, really.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably one of Howie's favorite books is 26, The Three Musketeers.
I've never actually read The Three Musketeers, but I know the story so well. At this point, when I finally read it, I'm going to.
That was another one of those books in that box of books that I got.
All right.
I have that and The Count of Monte Cristo right on my desk, ready to read at some point, possibly this summer. We'll see.
All right. So we're going sideways here.
Don't we always?
Yes, we do.
Paul Giamatti?
The year is 1993. I am a sophomore in college and very infatuated with this girl. And I asked her if she wanted to go see a movie with me.
Did you make her a mixtape and include a certain song?
I did not.
Okay.
So I said, do you want to go see this movie
Not
with
that
me?
time.
She's like, yeah, sure. Love to. She invites her friend. So I invite my friend to like keep her friend entertained. So the seating arrangement is me, my friend, her.
Oh, so
in that order.
Not the way you wanted it to go.
Not the way I wanted. Anyway, we got married a couple years after that.
The friend or the girl you're supposed to go on a date with?
The girl I went out on the date with.
Okay.
That movie was The Three Musketeers.
Really?
The one with Charlie Sheen and Oliver Platt and Kiefer Sutherland. We're talking that one?
Yeah, is that who was in it?
Yeah. Charlie Sheen,
Yeah.
Oliver Platt, Kiefer Sutherland, Chris O'Donnell.
Carlos Estevez?
Nope. Oh, yes.
Why did I think Bryan Adams was in it? Or did
Bryan
he just
Adams
sing the
was
song?
not in it. Bryan Adams, Rod Stewart, and Sting sang the song "All for Love."
Anyway.
Tim Curry was the Cardinal,
Love Tim Curry.
and
yeah.
Gabrielle Anwar was the Queen,
So you know a lot more about this movie than I did.
and Rebecca De Mornay
I
was
didn't
the
see much of it.
I love
Rebecca De Mornay about 7 or 8 years after Risky Business.
So anyway, I have a bit of a blind spot when it comes to Three Musketeers. I'm not a fan.
Fun story. We're keeping it sideways,
It's my favorite candy bar.
right?
I do. Really, your favorite? More than Snickers?
I don't eat Snickers.
I
No,
don't either.
Nope.
Are they green?
No, it has nuts
Craig
in it.
doesn't
I
eat
don't
green
like
things.
nuts in my...
Mouth?
Right. Exactly.
Oh my God. We apologize for this moment where this podcast turned into shenanigans for a bit. So anyway,
The purveyor has been sacked.
yeah, my current bride, as in like the person who I dated in college and married and I'm still married to happily. Our first official date, whatever. Shut up. Our first official date.
No, wait, no.
No, we're not
No.
getting into that.
No.
We're not getting into that.
Was there a bride before her?
No.
Is there going to be a bride after her?
I had a friend who always introduced his wife as his first wife. Every
It just
single
seems
time.
weird to me.
No. So the person I dated in college is the person I married and is
Right.
the person I'm still married to.
Okay.
Okay. Our first official date was to the movie The Musketeer, which was also a Three Musketeer movie. And it actually starred the guy who played Alex Karev on Grey's Anatomy. I didn't realize that until like
So you and
15
I
years later.
both started our first marriages with
watching
Musketeer
Three
movies.
Musketeer movies. Your first, my only.
All right.
Yeah.
Number 27, Brave New World. You already said you didn't like that
I don't
one.
like Huxley.
28 is War and Peace.
At least there's no Ayn Rand on here.
So far. And War and Peace, I got the graphic novel. I'll read it.
I love War and Peace.
Number 29 is To Kill a Mockingbird.
A worthy book, but I think there have been books that get that message across better that have been written since.
Okay, number 30 actually has 19 volumes, and they're only counting the first one. And I think that some of the other volumes are better. The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
I think, yeah, L. Frank.
I think I have the entire Wizard of Oz collection on like my Kindle,
I think I have it like they came out with like various volumes, like in really thick
Yeah.
paperback.
but I've only read the first one. And I have read it, and the book is very good.
Oh, it's great. Number 31 is Les Mis.
another book I have not read, but the story is outstanding on stage.
I've never read it. I've never seen it. It's one of those things I'm just not interested.
I'm not a big fan of it. I've seen it 3 times
I'm not
on stage.
interested.
I'm just not. Number 32 is The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett.
That's probably the first true classic I remember personally reading.
I don't know that I've read it.
And
I don't know if I have either. My kids own it, I think.
I liked it. I've seen it as a stage musical as well. And, that's one of the, that's kind of like when you bring it up, like, oh, yeah, that's a really great book, but it's not one I'm going to recommend to everybody.
33 is Animal Farm.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
34 is The Great Gatsby. 35 is The Little Prince. You talked about this not that long ago.
I like The Little Prince. I read that book in a day, and I think
It's not very long.
No, but I do think it's a book that people should read at least once and revisit a few times over the course of their lives because it says a lot.
That and The Art of War were both books that I read in political science class.
For a variety of different reasons. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, number 36 is The Call of the Wild.
No.
Okay.
37 is probably my least favorite book by this guy, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Verne.
Mm-hmm.
I can work with Jules Verne.
Yeah.
I read From the Earth to the Moon leading into this school year.
Uh-huh.
I'd never read it before.
Okay.
And, oh my God, it's outstandingly prophetic with the way it was written. Do you know the premise of that book?
No.
Does anybody here, do you know the premise of this book? Scott says no, he doesn't. Do you, Craig? No, the premise of From the Earth to the Moon by Jules Verne. Basically, a guy with the names these people came up with in the 1800s when they were writing fiction. The guy's name is Ippy Barbicane. What a phenomenal name for a literary figure, right?
He could have played baseball.
He could have.
He almost has a baseball name.
Almost, right? So Ippy Barbicane is a post-Civil War guy who takes a gigantic cannon and outfits it so that it can shoot a bullet to the moon.
Okay.
And then they start selling tickets to sit in the bullet to be shot to the moon.
From the east coast of Florida, by the way.
Of course, yeah, because you can relate this to anything you want going on in modern times now. But what made me laugh as I was reading this is so amazing. There is no way this was not the inspiration for Mielezi's, I'm pronouncing his name horribly, 1903's A Voyage to the Moon, which was one of the first feature-length movies.
Interesting.
Which has that, not that anybody listening would see this, but that classic cinematic shot of the bullet in the moon's eye.
Okay.
So
that's amore.
Jesus. That's an ouche. One way or the other. But like Jules Verne, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I mean, they made a ride for that in Disney World.
Right.
Well,
I think you have to admit that Jules Verne has significantly advanced science fiction.
Oh, absolutely. Science fiction, you've got Mary Shelley, Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, and you look at all three of them and what they wrote, and then you see what mankind accomplished 50 or 60 years after they wrote what they did. Well, and a lot of it comes from that.
Well, and seriously, so how many of the accomplishments were like, we should do that thing that H.G. Wells talked about, directly influencing?
For what it's worth, Ready Player One, which is 2014.
Right.
I sent that book to my brother. I said, Mark, this is a book for people who don't like to read. Mm-hmm. And he laughed, but he read it. Mm-hmm. And he said, and my brother's in the Air Force. He says, we're doing a lot of this now. And they're talking about this being like new 20 years from now. Don't know what this is.
Right.
But he's like, this is really cool. This is prescient. So like science fiction, that's why it's cool to read.
Right.
Okay. So back to the list, Craig. Sorry.
Number 38, Tolstoy again, Anna
Karenina.
Anna Karenina.
Yep.
Okay.
Number 39 is The Wind in the Willows.
Oh, Kenneth Graham. Good old children's
with the frog?
The Frog and Toad are friends.
The Grateful Dead wrote a song that they stole lines from this book. The wind in the willows plays T42. The sky was yellow and the sun was blue. Strangers stopping strangers to shake their hands.
He'll quote song lyrics. I'll quote movie lyrics. You'll quote books.
You know what? I've been throwing out those pop culture movie references all night. So
I'm listening. Don't worry.
I'm just trying not to get a copyright strike on YouTube.
Number 40 is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde.
All
right. So far.
And I already know how Scott feels about this one, but I personally love this book, The Grapes of Wrath.
we established this earlier. Yeah, Steinbeck is just
dry. I don't know. I get that he is a product of the time. Mm-hmm. I can't get into anything that I've read by him.
I was supposed to read The Grapes of Wrath in high school. I couldn't get through it.
I read it.
And now there's a variety of book social media, like on Facebook, there's various book groups that I've joined, and people are swearing by East of Eden, also by Steinbeck. I haven't read that.
Have you seen the movie?
The one with James Dean?
Yeah.
No, I know
Really?
that when he made that movie, it was like right after the movie was done is when he died.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, it was Giant. He died.
You're right,
He died filming Giant, but
Giant
or
was
after-
not released before he died. You're correct.
right. It's one of those things that I've got it.
I think it's crazy that James Dean, for all intents and purposes, was in 3 movies.
Yeah, James Dean and Jim Cazale made 8 movies between them, and all 8 were outstanding.
Number 42, Sense and Sensibility.
More
Right.
Austin
And
It's another
Zombies.
Austin, right?
and zombies. Somehow I think and zombies is not there, but okay.
Number 43 is the first book on the list that is from a relative of mine, very distant relative, The Last of the Mohicans
Okay.
by James Fenimore Cooper.
How distant a relative are we talking here?
Pretty distant.
I mean, I know they're dead for a while, but like, what are we talking?
So
Which side?
You want to get
My
my
mom-
genealogist wife to come in?
my mom's maiden name is Cooper,
Okay.
and I can trace back to about 1598. on
It's
the
his
Coopers.
13th cousin, 4
Yeah.
times removed.
Okay. So it's a big tree. Gotcha.
All right, number 44, Thomas Hardy, Tess of the Duber. 45 is our first modern book,
Okay.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it belongs higher, to be completely honest with
I
you.
agree with
I
you.
can agree with that too, because any book that gets people to want to read more deserves a higher placement.
Honestly, so in my lifetime, there have been a handful of books that, and they've all been series. Yes, they've all been series that have become pop culture phenomena. The Potter books, the Shades of Grey,
Yeah. Hunger Games.
the Hunger Games, and honestly, you're going to see Dungeon Crawler Carl on this list. I don't know that they'll ever be made into movies, but these
It would be an amazing movie. I don't think they could have done it 20 years ago, but now that CGI is where it's at, they
but
can
it would
do
have
it
to be
now.
all CGI
Pretty much.
or animated,
Right.
you know, but yeah. So can you think of another book or series in your lifetime that has really caught people's attention other than those 4?
There's some on the periphery, like the Maze Runner. That's kind of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you got the Hunger Games trilogy, what came out right around the same time, the Divergent series of books.
Yep.
If you got Harry Potter, what did people rediscover about the same time? Lord of the Rings.
Here's the thing, though. I feel like those secondary books were mostly for people that were going to read anyway. I feel like the Potters and the Hunger Games and the Shades of Grey, people who didn't read found those and latched on.
Now, if you go into any bookstore, though, you're going to wind up finding a whole bunch of like the new what they made that new genre, romantasy, if I think they're calling it, or something like that.
All right, hold on. Remember I said I wanted to talk about something?
Sure, be my guest.
So this was an argument the other day. I have embraced Threads as my social media.
What are you doing down there back there?
We have a visitor here.
Looking for a book?
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 There's not going to be books down there.
That's perfect. We're talking about books. So go on.
His pocket constitution.
So I've embraced Threads as my social media of choice. And there was an argument the other day about romance doesn't require an HEA. So I know so much about romance literature that I didn't even know what HEA stood for.
I'm confused as well. I should know
you?
this. You
No,
should
I
know
have
this.
no
when I
idea.
say it, it's going to be obvious. Happily ever after.
You know what? Have either of you read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow?
I haven't read it yet.
Is
No.
it my copy you got?
No.
Okay. That was the one that came out. Gabriel Zevin came out, I think, 2, 3, 4 years ago. And a lot of people have read it and say it's phenomenal. I have read it. I will say it is an above average story.
Okay.
It takes place over the course of 15, 20 years, as I recall. And the background impetus for a whole lot of the plot that drives the plot is video game creation.
Okay.
But there's a romance burgeoning under the surface. And there's one chapter in that book that
But it's not a romance.
not by the definition that
Okay.
most people would call it, according to what you're about to tell us, I think.
And so this was this big argument. Romance doesn't require a happily ever after. That was Penguin put that on there and people just tore them down. Because apparently, if there's not a happily ever after, people who read romance books are going to get pissed. And I didn't understand it. I don't, I want diversity. I don't always want a happily ever after. And they said,
Life doesn't always have happily ever after.
agreed. And they said, then you don't want a romance book. You want a romantic comedy. You want a romantasy. You want romantic this. But if a book is labeled romance, there is a happily ever after. And someone explained it to me in this way. They said, if you read a mystery book one of the requirements is
The mystery is
that
solved.
the mystery is
Okay.
solved in the end.
Okay.
And if it doesn't get solved in the end, you're pissed. Just like the people who read romance books, for them it is an escape. And if it doesn't end with a happily ever after, or at least a happily for now, you're like it has to end happy.
It requires a happily ever after and 12 orgasms.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
No, that's a different
That's a different
sort of
genre of book.
yeah.
We're not talking about that.
Anyway, but like it was all over the place. And I'm like, why is this such a big deal? And then I got torn down and told that I was a woman hater. So I found that interesting. It's kind of interesting.
Odd. Well,
I'm not a romance. I've literally never read a romance book. I have no interest in reading a romance book.
I think the closest thing I've come to reading a romance book.
Rudy.
No, jeez. No, it was one that I read that I told Craig I was reading. Goes, that book is phenomenal. Antibot, which I listened to
It's a
recently.
great book.
Yeah, I read Antibot recently, listened to Antibot, and it was one of those things. I'm like, all right, this seems interesting, and it was one of those that struck me as, I guess you could say, a feminist empowerment romance book.
And
I think is the best way
at the
to-
beginning of the show, you asked me whether I retained anything. I read that book 2 years ago.
And the second I told him I was reading it, he says, "What about this, this, and this?" I'm like, "Holy crap! Okay, calm down."
All right, did they sing "The Moon Will Come Out Tomorrow"?
no.
No, no, they did not. But it was, you know what that book struck me as? Is like it's almost struck me as something that could have, and I really still will hold out hope until I know that it never happens again, for a plot on the 4th season of the yet to be released Orville. You know, it could be
Right.
Anyway, whatever.
Number 46.
Uh-huh.
Football fans across America hate this book because they hate the movie.
Friday Night
It's
Lights?
Heidi.
Oh, Heidi. So, all right, so this is really weird. The author of Heidi, her birthday is today.
Really?
Jules Verne's birthday was yesterday.
Wow,
That's awesome.
I know birthdays. It's a weird thing.
that is a weird thing to know. But
Do you have to go home and watch Wapner?
Yes. I drive slow in the driveway on Sundays.
Kmart suck. Yes.
Yeah.
Number 47 is Ulysses by James Joyce.
All right.
Well,
40
time out. 46 spots lower than the previous list.
Correct.
Okay.
Remember, this was put together by librarians.
Okay.
And they did it by ranked vote. So this is how.
Okay.
Sherlock Holmes. The complete Sherlock Holmes is number 48.
The complete, so not one book,
Just
but
the whole-
just Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah,
That's like
exactly.
saying Star Wars.
Right.
Okay.
That's like if we're ranking if we're ranking movies like on my top 10, I'm going to say the Rocky Saga, and that
Yeah.
includes all 9 movies. And leave me alone.
How many Sherlock Holmes are there? Like 14?
A lot.
There's a lot. Number 49, The Count of Monte Cristo.
Okay.
By Alexandre
Dumas.
Dumbass.
Dumbass. No, that's about a prison escape. Oh, we ought to put that under educational. Please tell me you've all seen Shawshank.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 50,
He went to the
I went to
prison.
the prison,
Okay.
yeah.
That movie is so outstanding.
And the bank in the movie was my bank when I lived in Ohio.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
at the very end of the movie, when he goes to the bank, that was a Huntington Bank on Main Street in Ashland, Ohio.
I love the fact that there are these certain little like things from different movies that people like or books that we as a country have just put on pedestals to like, hey, come see where this thing happened. Like at one point when I went down to my brother's in New Jersey before we went to Vegas for my cousin's bachelor party, my brother picked me up. We stopped in Grover's Mills, New Jersey.
Oh, yeah. That's where
Really?
the
And I
Martians
went
landed.
to the War of the Worlds monument where the Martians.
There's a monument?
There's a monument
Yes.
where the Martians touched down.
Just like in Iowa, there's a birthplace of James T. Kirk.
Do you have a picture of it?
I do. I'll
Show me after,
I
yeah.
will hunt down this photo
So
for you.
we're going to New York next weekend, and I told Jeanette I made a list of things I want to do when I'm there. I want to go. I've been to New York well over a dozen times. I've never seen the Ghostbusters Fire Hall, and it's in Manhattan.
Well, so I've seen the War of the Worlds monument, which is awesome. And when I lived in Iowa, at one point I managed to, when I was working for a specific company that I'm not going to name because I don't want to. Long story short,
Playgirl?
What? No. I put that past behind me. No. I'm kidding. It took me a year to realize I was working for a lobbying group, and then I realized, you know what? This is
yeah,
not
I
for
get
me.
that. I get
but I was
that.
in charge of creating their All-Star Community Awards,
Right.
And it turned out that Dubuque won and Manchester won in the same year. So we went out to Dubuque to film all the stuff for the upcoming or for that year's conference. And the videographer and I looked at him like, hey, Joe, you know, we can we could stay here and then do Manchester the next day. So I set everything up, and that's what we did. So we stayed in Dyersville. Dyersville is where they filmed Field of Dreams. So we were playing catch on the field.
I knew Field of Dreams was coming up here eventually.
Yeah, I'm like, this is so cool. It's a field legitimately in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But it's so cool. So seeing places like that is just a lot of fun.
All right, number 50.
Anyway,
I think 50's got to be our last one,
The
right?
Old Man in the Sea.
Really? No, we need to do one
we
more.
need to do more.
There's some good books on here. I'm just going to fly through some of these.
Yeah, just pick a couple more.
We'll comment after each next 10. Okay.
All right. Number 51, The Lion, the Witch, the Wardrobe.
Yes.
I was waiting for that one. Sorry.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
No,
Pinocchio.
Okay.
100 Years of Solitude.
I'm unfamiliar.
Ivanhoe.
Yes.
Got a good
The
story for that
Red
one.
Badge of Courage.
Okay.
Anne of Green Gables.
No.
Black Beauty.
Okay.
Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Yes.
A Farewell to Arms.
Yeah.
All right, and then the next 10.
Why do you keep ending on S?
I don't know, but I will say of that 10, my favorite's got to be The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
All right.
Yeah.
The House of the Seven Gables.
Okay.
That's Hawthorne.
Yeah.
Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Fries.
Lord of the Flies, yeah.
Yeah, he works
So-
down at McDonald's. Yes.
One, Lord of the Flies was an amazing book. Loved it. The movie that came out in the 80s with
Sounds-
Balthasar Getty was
Yeah.
amazing.
Okay.
There's a new mini series or series
Yeah, there is.
coming out, I don't remember, but I was going to suggest that the three of us all reread Lord of the Flies and
Okay.
then watch. I think it might be on like HBO Max or something. And anyway, we reread that and we watch the mini series or the series or whatever it is, and then we do an episode just on that.
There's
Okay, we can do that.
There's a bunch of English teachers I know of who use Lord of the Flies and then immediately do the Hunger Games afterwards because they pair so
Oh,
well.
sure.
All right. 63 is The Prince and the Pauper.
More Twain, but okay.
A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man.
All right.
Lord Jim.
What?
Lord
That's
Jim
Kipling,
by
right?
Joseph Conrad.
Okay. My bad.
Number 66, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. That's
So
the
Harry
second
Potter's going
Potter.
to be on there multiple times then.
Yep.
And honestly, I'm surprised that there's only 2 books in the top 66.
So far.
The Red and the Black. I had never heard of this book.
I
Who
haven't
wrote
either.
it?
Who is it?
Stendhal.
Nope.
Okay.
The Stranger.
Camus?
Yep.
All right.
The Trial
Albert Camus.
by Kafka.
Wait, what by Kafka?
The Trial.
Not Metamorphosis.
No, The Trial.
Really?
Lady Chatterley's Lover, number 70.
Is that D.H. Lawrence?
We're in another, on a 10.
We're ending at again.
All right. Kidnapped, The Adventures of David Balfour by Robert Louis
I was
Stevenson.
going to say Kidnapped is Stevenson. Okay.
Okay.
Probably my least favorite book on the list is number 72, The Catcher in the Rye.
I think
Yeah.
that's the least favorite book for a lot of people who read it and understood it.
Fahrenheit 451.
What? Wait, hold on. We got into the 70s before we got to
73.
Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah. That's surprising.
That belongs in like the top 30.
Yeah.
I think, you know what? I think you could get all of these books, and if you just threw them at the wall every 10 years, the order would change significantly based on what's going on in the world.
You know what? I that's a valid opinion, but
It's
Yeah.
too low.
It is
Yeah.
it's way too low.
And now the next one's number 74 is my favorite Jules Verne book, A Journey to the Center of the Earth.
okay.
All right.
Vanity Fair.
Never read it.
Who is that?
That's Thackeray.
Okay.
I was going to say that's Reese Witherspoon, but yeah, either way.
The next book on here is far too low at 76, All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It's
Okay.
way too low.
Yeah. Not a fan, but you're right. It is too low.
Gone with the Wind is 77.
Okay.
My Antonia by Willa Cather is number 78. Of Mice and Men, 79.
Nope.
Nope, as in it doesn't belong there, or no, you don't like it.
It belongs there. I don't like it.
Fair enough.
And honestly, no, it doesn't belong there. It belongs higher, but I don't like it.
The number 80 is The Vicar of Wakefield by Oliver Goldsmith. I have never heard of it.
Neither did
Seriously,
I.
every
15, 20 books is a book like, huh?
yeah.
Yep. 81, A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court.
Give me some more Mark Twain. I can live with
I
that
love
one.
that book too.
That one's phenomenal.
82 is White Fang by London.
I like that better.
I don't
than
like
Call
Jack
the Wild.
London. I don't know. I don't see the world the way he saw it.
Fathers and Sons by Ivan Turgenev.
Okay. Unfamiliar.
Dr. Zhivago.
Oh yeah.
Who wrote Chicago?
Pasternak.
Okay.
The Decameron by, I can't pronounce these Italian names, Giovanni Boccaccio.
Okay.
1984.
What?
Wait. We haven't mentioned that already?
No,
I thought 1984 was earlier.
that was Animal Farm.
I thought 84 was before.
No,
Animal
you know
Farm.
what? It was on this list.
It was on the
higher.
other list. So Penguin Random House got 1984's placement right.
Right. 86 on this list.
No.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That is
Wow. Okay.
such a good book.
I know. Number 87 is another good book that's too low. It's not my favorite, but it should be higher on the list. That's The Jungle by Sinclair.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 88 is another modern book, The Da Vinci Code.
Dan Brown. And you know what?
I the fact that it's even on the list is impressive.
It is, but
I've never read it, but I know the impact it had.
But we talked earlier about books that like made people read.
Yeah.
Dan Brown made people read.
This is a book, the Da Vinci Code.
That should have been on my list of books that made people read.
When that movie came out,
Uh-huh.
I was living and working in Iowa, and my sports editor was a devout Catholic, and he did not like the message that was being put forth in that book, and he took it upon himself. The movie theater across the hall, or across the street, he was the only one, but he went and sat with a small sign that just said heresy, and he sat there quietly while people were going to the movie. And there were a couple of people who said, you know what, good for you.
Did he watch the movie or did he just hear about it? Because that's a big difference.
It is a big difference, and I really don't remember. And may he rest in peace. I can't ask him anymore.
All right.
So
Number 89 is Persuasion by Jane Austen.
Okay.
Number 90 is Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. We get another on the tens.
Yeah.
Voltaire, was it Candide?
Candide.
Candide, yeah. For Whom the Bell Tolls is number 92.
All right. Slayer. Or not.
Metallica.
Yeah.
Far from the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy. Number 94 is The Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay.
Far below Return of the King. Okay.
Number 95 is Return of the Native by Thomas Hardy. Number 96 is Sons and Lovers by D.H. Lawrence. Number 97 is Charlotte's Web.
Ooh, wow.
Okay.
That's
some pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is some pig. I think that book's too low.
I think it's way too low.
Number 98 is
Have we had a children's book prior to this?
No,
Not really.
unless you count Pinocchio and Peter Pan or Alice in Wonderland.
Right.
No,
Alice in Wonderland was number 2 or 3. So.
Yeah. But I don't.
but I don't think we've had a legitimate, I would say, last 60 years children's book, and that just seems to. And Harry Potter doesn't count.
Right.
So I'm going to say no.
Number,
Yeah,
ni-
I feel like it should be higher just because of the audience.
number 98, The Swiss Family Robinson.
Okay.
Outstanding Disney movie.
Number 99 is Bleak House by Charles Dickens.
Okay,
And I can't pronounce the last one, but
try.
Who's it by?
I can't pronounce it either. It's French, man.
Fa.
Ha ha ha.
Pierre Goriot by, I don't know what is, by Honor de Balzac.
The Balzac?
Yeah.
There were a lot of great books on that list. Some of the orders were definitely wrong. Was the Jungle Book on that list?
No,
No, I don't think
Was
there's anything
Kipling
like
on
no
that
Kipling.
list?
none.
When you said the Jungle, I was waiting for book.
Some authors whose names I didn't hear: Rudyard Kipling, Isaac Asimov.
Right?
Yeah.
Nothing by Asimov.
Anyone watching Foundation?
No.
Is that on Apple?
It's on Apple.
All right, I'll have to check it out.
My Apple is paused just because we pay for too many damn things.
I got to watch the
The final of For All Mankind.
For All Mankind and Star City.
Well, Star City's only like 3 episodes in, though, right?
Yeah, so I have to wait for that.
I'm going to wait until Star City's done. Then I'll resubscribe, watch the 5th season of For All Mankind and Star City and whatever else.
For All Mankind is so amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Have you
this
watched
is-
Silo?
Is that a Hank Howie?
I don't know, but I'm told it's just as good as For All Mankind. Sorry, Howard.
give me a chance to take a swig of my different beer. I would venture to guess that if they redo that list in 10 years, there's a handful of books currently out that are hits that wind up on that list.
Oh, we'll see.
The
Like
fact-
what?
like
do you
what?
think?
I don't know. I don't know what their qualifications were to put the books on the list.
All right, Howie, as an English teacher, what grade are you teaching currently?
Currently, I'm finishing the year having taught juniors and sophomores. And of the
So
classics,
currently you're reading, you're teaching
10th 10th and 11th grade.
All right. 3 books from that list that you feel could easily be incorporated into lesson plans.
Charlotte's Web, the Lion Ocean Award. No, I'm just kidding. Well, the sophomores, we ended the year by reading the graphic novel version of the Odyssey.
Okay.
The Odyssey was not on that list.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, the Iliad or the Odyssey were not on the
nothing
list.
by Homer.
And yet, books I've never heard of.
Right. The juniors.
And I'm sure that there are some phenomenal books that I've never heard of.
Oh, this goes for everybody.
Yeah.
Even Craig, who reads, 400 books a day.
I'm on book number 87 for the year.
Very nice. So I will say this summer, because I am teaching summer school as well, which I've done now for the last 5 summers, I'm switching things up. Speaking of which, there's another book that was on that list, The Outsiders.
Right? I see hidden.
The Onion Fields.
Notable omissions. The Outsiders was not on that list. 12 Angry Men, which I think there was no plays on that at all. So maybe they were omitting plays.
They're books. But there's also a book that I would consider a children's book, but maybe it's a tween book, but The Bridge to Terabithia.
Okay.
Yep. That
Phenomenal book.
That belongs on that list. This summer, what I'm going to attempt to do is switch things up. The last several summers, I have done 12 Angry Men, Death of a Salesman, and I've kind of split it up between the two
Did
classes.
12 Angry Men last summer?
I've done 12 Angry Men the last couple summers.
Wow. And I thought my statement that I like Dick was a lot.
Wow. Wow.
Oh.
Leave
I
it
might,
to me
have to, I might have to mark this one not safe for work.
Maybe, or MA, TVMA. Yes. Bottom line is, I taught 12 Angry Men
All right.
and 12 Angry Students. Either way,
12 Angry Men's another great one. Yeah.
it's one of those books or plays that's outstanding, and as an adaptation, as a film, it stands up. It really does. Even the 1997 version that they redid, and
I didn't know there was a 97 version.
They're both pretty good.
and
I mean, the original's phenomenal.
the original's phenomenal. Like if the original's an A+, the 97 remake, solid B plus A.
Yeah,
Because it was in
easily.
a cast alone, and they diversified.
I would say it's a
the two.
soft A, if you know what I mean.
I think I do. Because you're not going to really argue with Henry Fonda and Lee J. Cobb.
If you didn't know that the other movie existed, you'd give it an A for sure.
Absolutely. But the 97 version had James Gandolfini, Tony Danza, William Peterson, Bubba
Tony
Gump.
Danza threw out the first pitch tonight at Bison Sports
And he's
Park.
going to be at the casino this weekend
Yeah.
or next weekend.
But you were asking about books I would teach. On that list, what I'm planning on doing this summer is changing things up, because there are certain students who I've had like a couple summers in a row, and they've probably already gotten sick of my teaching methods. So I'm going to switch things up. I'm going to do Fahrenheit 451
All right.
for the first part of the summer.
You're gonna watch the movie too.
No. When I'm done with Fahrenheit 451,
Wait,
you're asking about
I don't know what movie.
there
There's
was
a new-
there was an older movie, and there was a movie that HBO did starring Michael B. Jordan and Michael Shannon that was kind of meh.
Really?
But
I didn't, honestly, I didn't, and obviously you would think that there would be one, but I was unaware of a movie adaptation.
Same thing with I told you my favorite book is Jules Verne's. My favorite Jules Verne book is
yeah.
The Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Will
Brendan
Ferrell?
Fraser
was it Brendan Fraser? Yeah,
was in
I
that
thought it was
movie,
Will Ferrell.
and it got panned. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of movies that people like. I go to the movie and I enjoy it, and then I come out and I see the reviews and people are like, oh, this is bad. Then there's other movies I go in and I'm like, this movie is horrible, and I see the reviews and like, okay, cool. At least I know what I'm talking about. Star Wars Episode 1 is one of those such movies where I went and saw it at midnight and it sucked.
Yeah.
And no amount of retconning is going to make me change my mind. Yeah. But instead of
The last half of episode 3 is pretty darn good, though.
the prequel trilogy has about 35 minutes of watchable footage, and
it's all in the last
and
movie.
33 and a half of those minutes are from the end of episode 3. That's about it.
I really liked the E.T. in the Senate, though. That was the only thing.
Yeah.
I
That
cared
was
about.
awesome. And I love that's I wonder if that was George Lucas kind of giving a nod to E.T. and him seeing Yoda when they're going trick-or-treating, like home.
Oh, yeah.
Home. When I'm done with Fahrenheit 451, first half of the summer,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to transition and we're going to analyze Rush and their album 2112.
Okay.
Which is something we talked about in the chat where I'm like, guys, is this something that could be done? So I'm going to use the summer to experiment.
All right.
Because we're going to analyze the lyrics, because Rush 2112 is, for anybody listening at this point, thank you very much, because this has gone on a little long. Fahrenheit 451.
I think we just got the cut thing, too.
Yeah.
Burning books. Rush 2112. Music is outlawed. It's the same type of scenario. So that's what I want to put together and see if it works. So, yeah.
So it probably takes place in Iowa or something. There's no dancing.
Well, legitimately, if I want to show a movie when I'm all done, I can show Footloose, and that'll be that,
All right.
Yeah.
It's probably a good time for us to wrap up.
8 degrees or 6 degrees of bacon, right?
That's right.
So we're going to do this again in a couple weeks.
Yes,
We are,
with an
and-
author. We had to finish the book. You've already read the book.
I got to read the book again because
It's
I've
been
read
so
so
long.
many. Yeah, I've read so
Right.
many other things since then. I don't remember what happened.
As of right now, yes, for those of you listening, we do have I would say a soft confirmation for Edward Ashton joining us on June 27th, which is when we will record again.
And then it will be published
It will be
a couple
published
days
after that.
thereafter.
So that's when we are planning on talking with him.
I'm pushing for Tuesdays for release day.
all right.
Perfect. And we will be talking about his book after the fall.
Thanks for listening to Buzzwords. This week we had Scott and Howie, and I'm Craig. Thanks for listening. Join us again when we do this again.